Abby and I are sleeping in separate beds.
Does this mean that you're separating from me?
What?
Let's take that out.
I love being married.
I want to die in that house.
Here you are talking about death, and you always get on me about talking about death.
You talk about it in the context of like dying with me still here.
That's probably going to happen. Like
Please
statistically,
stop
that's going to happen.
saying that.
Loneliness as an adult, it is an epidemic in our society. Everything was handed to us in college, but then we leave and we're like lonelier than we've ever been in our entire lives. Welcome back to the Unplanned podcast, everybody. Thank you for being here. How are you feeling right now? What?
I'm in a really funny mood today.
It's cold out today, so every time I touch like a microphone or the camera, we get shocked. Like it's been so frustrating.
Like what is the
trying
science
to set up
behind
all
that?
of our gear. I just kept getting zapped. So I feel like I've gotten tased multiple times today.
Yeah, I was making you really mad. You said a couple not good words.
You're looking good today, baby.
Thank you.
You're still looking so hot.
You know, have you ever heard of the winter uglies?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Well, I was just talking about it with my friend, and it's a real thing. Like, you
the
know,
winter uglies?
Yeah, like, you know, summer you're feeling tan, you're feeling like your hair's brighter.
Well, you got the winter sexies.
No, I don't. Because the other day I was like, I literally didn't do it. We had a kid sick, and so I literally didn't do anything to myself all day, and I just felt like I might not be able to look at myself in the mirror without self-tanner on one more time before I was going to physically gag.
You've been looking so
That was so
good.
dramatic, but I do feel like I'm experiencing the winter uglies, you know?
I wouldn't actually disagree with that.
Well, you're just being kind.
I think
Thank
you've gotten more attractive since we started dating.
You know, I will agree with that.
Yeah, I think you're very hot.
I also was a child when we started dating.
Yeah. Can we just like, dude, we should
I
like
became
throw
a
up a picture of us like when we first started dating. We were children,
Be
dude.
honest with me.
We were children.
I feel like my face has slimmed down a little bit. Like I had like kid chubby cheeks.
I mean, you still got chubby cheeks, to be honest. They're so cute. They're cute though. I like them. They're cute.
You know, I don't think there's a way for me to not have them be chubby.
You're cute. I really like you.
Thank you.
I think you're
you too.
beautiful. How do you feel about what I just launched a couple of days ago?
I have mixed feelings.
Why do you have mixed feelings?
I mean, for being completely honest, I'm like, this feels like, I think we know now what a big project something like this is, like what this undertaking is.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm like a little nervous about it.
We've been doing this show for 2 years now, babe.
I know. So I'm like, wow, are we really gonna, this has been a lot. You
I know. Well, I think that's the funny thing is like you think of a podcast, you're like, I just have to talk for an hour. That's so easy. You do a podcast and you're like, oh, like if you want to do it well, there's a lot that goes into it. Anyway,
So I'm like, man, will I ever see my husband again?
you're worried that I'm gonna just like never spend time with you anymore.
Yeah, because you're.
Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna spend a lot of time with you. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Okay.
No, okay. So I realized this, you guys. I call this. There's a concept that I like to refer to as creator hell. So it's when you're a new creator and you do literally everything yourself. Because it's almost like you're a small business owner. Like say you open a taco stand and you are the sole owner. So you have to clean everything and cook everything and do all the branding and do all the marketing. Like you are the entire team. Being a creator is the same way. Like when you start off making content, you are the analyst, you are the marketer, you are the on-camera person. So, where the heck was I going with that? Oh, the reason I'm saying all that is because I'm saying screw you to that whole idea of doing everything myself. And I have someone helping me edit the show. I have someone helping me produce the show. So it's not complete. Like, okay, let me be honest. I'm still doing a ton of stuff myself.
It's mostly like your brain space is being, your brain real estate has been taken up.
Cause it's like, I can be in person with you, but my brain is thinking about all the stuff I have to do.
I've already even seen that one.
Like you want more real estate.
Your brain real estate is very.
Like you want real estate in my brain.
Yeah.
I like that. I want real estate in your brain too.
You got it.
Okay.
I already planned. I got stuff in my head for you.
So, I mean, if you guys haven't seen yet, I went ahead and I launched a new podcast. It's called The Night Shift, or actually, no, I think I changed it to Night Shift just to be like cooler because that sounds like way cooler. It's called Night Shift with Matt Howard.
I like that better, actually.
Is that you?
Yeah.
And the whole idea is really, I was talking to my sister-in-law's dad, who's been in the radio business for 50 years. And I was like, holy crap, you've done radio for 50 years? He's like, yeah, I love doing it. And I'm like, wait, so you don't have to do this anymore to pay your bills? He's like, oh no, we're good. Like we've got enough savings, but I do this because it's fun for me. And it kind of like something clicked there where I was like, wait a second. I don't see myself doing music forever. I don't see myself doing TikTok forever, but I can see myself literally podcasting and interviewing people when I'm 80 years old because I genuinely love doing this so much. So I'm very excited. I'm so excited to see where that show takes me and takes us. And yeah, it's gonna be a really fun time.
Does this mean that you're separating from me?
What? No, the Unplanned podcast is here to stay.
I think people think that this might be because we're separating because you're sleeping separate from me
Oh,
again.
yeah, that was episode 1. So episode 1 is me talking about why Abby and I are sleeping in separate beds, which you can watch the episode to hear about. I talk about it for almost an hour, so there's a pretty good explanation. But I want to get your thoughts, though, on like how you feel about sleeping alone, though.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Nope.
Sleeping alone.
No, I complain about it every night. I?
You do. I'm so sorry.
No, it's just, I'm a lonely gal. See, here's the thing. Say what you want. I am codependent. And I like went from being a kid in my parents' house to being roommates with people in college to sleeping with you. And I shared a room in college. It wasn't like I ever like even had my own bedroom.
You and your brother used to like share a bed sometimes too.
Yeah.
Probably should not put that on the internet, but
no, it's
too
fine.
late.
He's my brother.
Too late, yeah.
He's my brother, and he wasn't, I was just like, I hated being alone at night.
Yeah.
And I have that thing where I have to say, my last words out of my mouth have to be, good night, I love you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, what if I say something else just on my own?
Yeah, I guess, you know what it probably is I saw my parents, like growing up, my parents did not share a bedroom, really. They would
when
just
you were a
separate.
kid even?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I didn't actually know that.
I hope I'm not like trying to air, like they're open about this. Everybody knows that. But like my dad just has sleep problems, and then my mom also gets sleep problems. So they sleep better if they sleep separately because they wake each other up in the night, and then
maybe that's why it's so much more normal for you.
They also go to bed at different times. They wake up at different times. So it doesn't mean that they're like, you know, them not sleeping together has nothing to do with the health of their marriage. It has nothing to do with that at all.
It can be a marker of like an unhealthy marriage, or it can just be like you have different schedules, you have different sleep situations. Which is our case.
I feel like me sleeping in a separate room, which is technically the closet, has actually been really good.
We're in the same room, but not in the same bed.
I've literally been sleeping in the closet. I've actually been sleeping in our walk-in closet every night for a month. And I have a couple other
gripes about this. It's hard to put my clothes away and get to my clothes.
That's true, because there's a queen size mattress in there because I moved that.
And it's a big closet. Don't get me wrong, but not that big.
I mean, I moved the queen mattress from our guest bedroom to the closet.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and I talk way more about this in the episode. If you can't tell, I'm really excited for you guys to go listen to it, so you should check it out. Okay, I'm gonna stop self-promoting now. But the closet, though, it's so dark, it's so quiet, and I have a tiny little AC unit in there that makes it really cold. I've got a portable humidifier as well that makes it very like, just that the air is so,
you guys,
so
as I'm
good
seeing more
and
and more
humid.
Gadgets enter the closet, the more I roll my eyes, because I was like, man, he's really settling in here. Like, why don't you just get a freaking mini fridge at this point?
I honestly, that's next on my list. That's next on my list. I could have some beverages in there.
You're kidding.
I also even got these. A friend of mine got me these noise canceling headphones with this device that touches your vagus nerve on the side of your neck.
I hated
and
that.
it kind of massages your vagus nerve to calm you down, so you can get really good sleep at night. So it was like the sleep paradise. Like I created my own sleep paradise in this closet.
I have no words.
Oh, you know what? And essential. I also have been using essential oils.
Yeah. You forgot to say the lavender.
I freaking love essential oils are great. And
you're
look,
so high maintenance.
Let me just say this, okay? I don't believe. Sorry if this offends someone. I love you still. I don't believe in the whole essential oil crap. I just don't. But it smells so good.
A bunch of people just clicked on it.
We just lost about 1,000 subscribers.
No, I believe in it because if you like it, it will.
Well, I think the placebo effect is real, and I think if something makes you feel awesome,
okay, then that's great. So then it works.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of like a feeling, you know.
Okay. Well, I haven't done my research on that, so
yeah.
I'm not supporting that. So do not just come for Matt if you are an essential oil person.
My buddy at the gym was like, "Dude, your skin looks amazing," and I was like, That's probably because I'm getting more than 2 hours of sleep at night now.
Your guy friend noticed your skin?
Yeah, he was like, bro, your skin looks better than it used to. And I was like, thank you, homie.
Wow.
No, but I think my skin was looking horrible because I just wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
I think like stress and just like
You know what I can't decide?
insomnia was freaking screwing me up, dude. Screwed me up.
I feel like, speaking of the winter uglies, that's when I was really noticing. I was like, feel like I'm getting the earliest signs.
What is the winter? You don't have winter uglies, babe.
I was getting the first signs of wrinkles.
You look so hot.
And I'm feeling like, I know that they're not severe.
You don't.
But like, I'm recognizing them.
You
and
don't
I know
have
people
winter
my
uglies.
age do stuff about them. But then I'm like, am I going to be the type of person? I'm always in this battle, right? Am I going to be the type of person that embraces my body's signs of aging and like almost like wears it like a trophy? Like these are like laughter lines from all the times that I have belly laughed with friends, and like these are,
I think it's a good thing though. Like
should I embrace it, or should I just like try to fight it?
Maybe I don't know what it is about me, but I think that you as a mom is really hot.
Really, thank you.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think
being a mom is what gave me the wrinkles. I think
like a mature looking Abby is a really good looking Abby.
Thank you. That's very
And
nice.
I'm excited to see you change over time because I'm gonna get to love every different version of you. It's gonna be like you're a different. It's just gonna be kind of fun. It's gonna keep things interesting,
It will be. You never know who you're gonna get. I've changed way more in our relationship than you have.
Yeah, like I mean, especially like with how women can dye their hair and cut it. Like your hair.
Yeah, dude. When we started dating, I was so young. I had never highlighted my hair.
Your hair's changed a lot, and I've liked that at every stage. Like for a while, you had your hair really short and blonde, and that was really hot. And now your hair is long and blonde, and I like that too. Actually,
yeah, here's the thing. I think I'm gonna stay blonde for a while.
I like you blonde.
I like it too.
You do look really good blonde.
I feel like it suits me more. Honestly, when I dye my hair is the exact same color as our first son.
Which is hilarious. Like our kids look nothing like us. I mean, okay, they're carbon clones of Abby, but their hair color and eye color isn't the same as Abby's. I don't know where they got the blonde hair. I don't know where they got the blue eyes because neither one of us have that.
I have no idea.
Dude, I have like tan skin, dark brown eyes. I was told as a kid, like people would literally tell me, dude, your eyes are so dark, it looks like you're staring into the depths of my soul. Like some people would tell me that, and then here my kids pop out.
Yours aren't though. Yours are. I mean, they're dark, but they're chocolate brown.
But people are like, dude, your son, like blonde hair, blue eyes, like who's the father,
That's kind of rude.
I'm just kidding.
What I was going to say is the reason why I think it bothers me more than you, because like learning this about your parents, like I knew they slept in separate beds now, but I didn't know that was a thing growing up.
Oh, yeah.
My parents have never, ever, even when my mom was throwing up in the night, my mom was like, why don't you go to the guest bedroom? And my dad literally said to her, not sarcastically, said, well, in sickness and in health.
Oh, yeah.
And he stayed in the bed with her when she's vomiting, and he had to wake up early for work. That's the background I'm coming from. Not saying they're better at all, but like, we'll be together even if it's the most inconvenient thing.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, for me, I guess we've just seen
we've seen
things modeled for us differently in the houses we grew up in.
And you know what? Both of our parents have healthy marriages.
Yes.
So it's not a commentary on your marriage, although it could be, because there are some people that aren't sleeping in separate beds because they just don't like each other.
Dude, we've been having some really great times now that we sleep in separate beds. Like I feel like I have so much more energy now.
We're still very much married. We're still very much husband and wife.
It's been great.
Yes.
It's been wonderful.
I would agree.
I love being married.
I would agree. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping this is a temporary setup. Is the end in sight?
Is the end in sight?
Yeah, for this closet.
I think it is because we're finally getting blinds in our house. We're finally gonna have blackout. Like, I can finally have darkness in our room.
They're taking a long time to ship, and then we still have to get special ones for the doors. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. I am a person that will avoid a phone call with a stranger at almost any cost. And it has had hefty costs for me. Like when it comes to ending subscriptions, I'm like, who's going to answer at the end of the line? And how long is it going to take? And what if it's confusing? No, you don't have to worry about that because Rocket Money exists. And Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. It's like having someone that's just like, you know what? I'll take care of this for you. It's super, super nice. nice. You can see all your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. They also automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. They helped negotiate one of our bills down even. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. And you guys, it's towards the start of 2025. It's time to get a hold of our finances. And that can be a really overwhelming task, but with Rocket Money, it's really made simple. The app is free to download and it's very, very user-friendly to see how much money you have, where your money's going, how much your bills are, where you can save more, where you can spend more, all that type of stuff, and help you cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals fast with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/unplanned today. That's rocketmoney.com/unplanned. rocketmoney.com/unplanned.
We're getting our house together finally. It's actually really coming along. We've been in it for 3 months, but it's not fully decorated.
It's only been 3 months?
Wait, since October, so November, December, January. I guess it's been almost 4 months. Yeah, we've been in that house for almost 4 months.
Yeah, and it's finally kind of coming together. You know what's funny is that like I gave a bunch of people tours of our house, and it's just still like so. Some parts look like we freshly moved in, and I feel like that's just going to be how it is.
Okay.
You kind of just get used to how things are, and but I don't want it. I want to feel more like established and like organized. I just really want to be organized, and we're getting stuff sent to our house. We're ordering. We're just trying to get it figured out, and then also getting our backyard done, which is what I'm most excited for because we have kids and we live in Arizona. We want to be outside, especially now that it's like nice weather out, and like I just need to be able to let them free.
Yeah, right now our backyard is literally just dirt.
It's dirt, and since it's Arizona, there's not been rain. It's dust, and so it's really not good to let be in that because if you breathe that in, you can get this thing called valley fever. Which my grandma actually had.
Kind of spooky.
And she was really, really sick. She was on a prescription medication for that. I don't want to say it was an antibiotic, but it was something else. A steroid?
I don't know.
For 90 days.
Yikes.
It's like serious. And the most susceptible are really little kids, like toddlers and the elderly. So that's why I don't really want our kids in there.
Yeah, it's spooky. Like you go out there in our backyard right now because it's all dirt.
I feel like there's valley fever out there.
No, there's still like nails and stuff in the dirt.
Yeah, well, because it's a new build.
Because our house is a new build, so we just have to be careful. But we're getting it done. I think we're gonna put in a pool.
We can finally get rid of those paper blinds soon.
I know
they're ripped because our kids just rip it like it's a Christmas present.
Yeah, we've got paper blinds up everywhere, but the house is coming together though, which
I'm really loving it.
Yeah, I think Abby said this before. Abby goes, "I want to die in this house."
I do. I want to die in that house.
Do you realize how morbid that sounds?
If you only think of it that way. I want to live a long, full, happy life, but just have my roots right there in that house.
Here you are talking about death, and you always get on me about talking about death.
Yeah, because you talk about it in the context of, dying with me still here.
Oh, but that's probably going to happen.
Please
Statistically, that's going to happen.
That.
Statistically, that's what's going to happen, babe. That's why I've been trying to run more. Did you know that I've been, running a lot more?
Yeah.
I've been running 5.5 miles.
Matt, I know everything about you.
At once. And I run, and it's such a new thing for me that it's kind of hilarious. I get a new record every time I go running because my phone's like, hey, you just set a running record. And I'm like, no way. You
finally did it for the first time.
Yeah. And one time I set a 5K record, I set a fastest mile record, and then I set the longest run record all in the same run because I just never run. So yeah, but it's been good though. Because I've been using AI like crazy. I love ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT.
Oh my heck.
Every day. It's my most used app on my phone. And I was asking AI hey, both my grandpas died in their early 70s. How do I live to my 90s? And it said, well, your heart health is one of the most important things. And I'm like, okay, bet. How do I get better heart health? And it said cardiovascular activity. And one of those activities is running. So I've been trying to get my 150 minutes in per week. And then there's a certain threshold too with where I need my heart rate to get up to. So since I'm
what is it? Because
I'm a 26-year-old guy, so my heart rate's supposed to be between 150 and 170 when I run.
Oh.
That's high intensity. So it said.
Do you know what mine gets to in a cardio workout?
What?
205.
205?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're like a little hamster. You're like a little squirrel.
And when I'm
bunny.
pregnant, it gets higher. Which I don't think is actually a good thing.
That spooks me out that your heart rate gets that high.
Trust me, I know. I asked my doctor about it.
What's your resting heart rate?
Like my average?
Yeah.
Like including when I'm asleep?
Because my resting heart rate, like right now, it's 94. Why is my heart rate 94?
My 7-day average is 60.
That's crazy. I love having a smartwatch, by the way. I love like being able to track my sleep.
I love Garmin.
my heart rate, everything. You should get your Garmin.
I've worn it for years. No, my 7-day average is 60. I feel like that's really good.
Yeah.
What's your 7-day average?
7-day average is.
Go to your heart.
You tell me. I don't even know how to look for that, to be honest.
Turn your wrist.
I don't know why my heart rate is at a 98 right now.
Are you anxious right now?
I guess I am a little bit.
Well, we're making a podcast. It's going to be broadcast for millions. 54!
Is that good?
That's really low. That's good.
Hey, I have a decent heart rate, you guys. It did tell me that my biological age decreased to like 22.
What? Mine does not say that.
My watch told me that.
Mine says like 25.
So maybe I'm actually going to be able to live to 95 like my great-grandpa. Because, yeah, both my grandpas died in their early 70s. My great-grandpa lived to be 95. So that's the goal. I want to be around to see our grandkids grow up, our great-grandkids. How sick would it be to meet your great-great-grandkids? How sick would that be?
Did you know that there are going to be 21 2-year-olds and under at our house?
You were telling me about that.
In 2 days.
I don't know. Did you think to ask me about this before you planned this party, babe?
I really did think about it, but you were out of town, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I have to act now. And I just made an invitation, and I sent it out, and I figured that you're the type of person that you'd be stoked about this.
Yeah.
Are you stoked?
I am stoked. I think it'll be fun.
Well, their parents are coming too.
I love that you love to host people and
yeah, I love it.
Have a good time.
We're having a Valentine's Day party for 2-year-olds, and it's gonna be okay. So Matt, get this.
Yes.
I bought a huge toddler table.
Okay.
That they can all eat their little food on, and I figured we're gonna decorate for Valentine's Day, but we're also gonna have like little heart hopscotch, and they like jump on the heart letters. They're gonna have white paper like laid out with a bunch of arts and crafts things so they can color. Yeah. Their take-home gift is a little I got a bookshelf for kids, like a fabric one that's just like simple, and then I got a bunch of Valentine's Day books. So like the Valentine's Day version of like all their favorite books, like Pete the Cat, Goodnight Construction Site, Bluey, like Mickey Mouse.
That's so sweet.
A bunch, and they're all different, so they can all pick one out on their way out the door, and it's a little Valentine's Day book that they can read. And there's just so many more fun activities I'm so excited about.
So sweet.
I'm so excited. And we're gonna have just like pizza and chicken nuggets and just make it fun times.
You're so good at making a house a home, Abby.
Really? Because I feel like that's such a nice compliment. That's what I want to be. But I feel like half the time when I host,
put your feet over my feet.
I feel like half the time when I host, our house is a disaster. But you know what? This is my rule. It's more important to have people over than to say no because your house isn't like picture perfect. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We were talking about that with Ginger too on the podcast.
Yeah, you got to just have your friends over and not give a frick if
relationships
your house looks like
are way more important than appearances.
We just had some friends over yesterday. Actually, Devin and Hunter, if you guys know that couple,
they saw they even saw our bedroom.
Yeah, and I think we had position cards out on our countertop.
Stop. They might not have seen that. Now you just said that. Not the flashcards.
Anyway, they came over to our house and it was a mess. And it was like, you know what? We don't really care. It was like, you guys can, you know, just enjoy it. Who cares? Whatever. Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you get right down to it, some people might be a little bit more tidy than others, but we all got our messes. Why hide them? You are actually not like, you act like our house is messy all the time, but I feel like it's it's really clean. Not. I feel like it's fairly clean. No, but I'm saying like I'll still host people without like being like, oh, I have to clean up everything. Yeah. In fact, I do that all the time. You're a good host. Abby's been hosting book clubs. Yes, at our house. Book clubs have been really fun. And just you have a good community going. You have a I'm so thankful. I've been inspired. I'm like, Abby has so many friends. Like maybe I should make more friends too. Like Abby goes to the gym all the time. Maybe I should take good care of myself too. It's like that thing. My mom said, choose your friends wisely, for soon you will see that who you are with is who you will be. And I chose my wife wisely, and now you're influencing me for the better. That's so good. I'm really glad to hear that. You influenced me for the better in a lot of ways too. You're my best friend. Thanks, babe. Didn't you have your book club read a book where there was like a sex scene every other page, and then I did not. And everyone rated it a bad rating? It was not. No. That's not true. Do you have any hot takes on that? Like, do you think that's
Like what do you? Because
It's called smut.
smut.
Yeah.
What is that?
Smut is like spice scenes in books.
Is this something that you learned on Book Talk?
Probably.
Wait, okay, hold up though.
Smut is a word though.
But you don't have TikTok, so how are you learning about Book Talk?
YouTube and Instagram.
Oh, you're on YouTube book stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, explain it to me. Smut. What is this?
Smut is like the spice level in books. People will rank it like based on like jalapeno peppers.
Ah.
So like the max spice you could get is like 5 jalapeno peppers.
What are people's qualms though with reading intimate books? Because doesn't that just make you want to explore with your spouse?
Matt, there's a lot. Some people just don't enjoy reading that.
Oh, it just makes them feel uncomfy.
Yeah, and some people have like moral reasons.
Oh,
for not wanting to read that.
Okay, that's fair.
It's not really like at that point. It's not really literary. Like it's entering a different category.
You know what is so interesting?
It's like pornography in a book.
Okay, what is so interesting though is how
I don't like
uptight
that.
America is about sex.
No, man, I don't like it though.
Which is fine. Like you don't have to like it, but it's so interesting.
I'd rather read about thrillers.
So I was talking to my friend Garrett. He's traveled the world with his family. Their YouTube channel is called The Bucketless Family. And something he was telling me was by traveling the world, he's learned a lot about how different cultures view intimacy and, relationships, marriage, all that. And he was telling me about how when cinematographers and, editors work on projects for like National Geographic, filming animals in the wild, right? So they're seeing animals eat other animals, mate with each other. Do you know what he told me that they do?
You already told me this, but I can act like it's the first time you told me
Okay,
this.
pretend this is the first time.
We actually do talk off the podcast.
Yeah, we actually have conversations.
I was on the toilet when you told me.
Okay, but pretend you're not on the toilet. Pretend you're hearing this for the first time.
No, what do cinematographers do?
What they do is they cut out all the sex scenes for American audiences because Americans are so taboo when it comes to sex. And then they keep all the violence in. But then for European audiences, they keep all the mating and sex scenes of the animals, but cut out all the violence because Europeans are like, whoa, violence, like that's not okay. It's just so interesting how different the cultures are. Because like growing up, when I was a kid, if there was ever an intimate scene in a movie, my mom would be like, skip it, which is fine. Like I'm not saying, that's the way she chose to raise me. It's weird how Americans are like, oh, violence is chill, but oh, intimacy, not okay. And Europe is completely different, completely opposite. Like,
see, I wouldn't have thought that though. I will tell you, I am shocked by the violence and stuff nowadays, but I wouldn't have thought that. I feel like there is a lot of sex in our stuff.
You think so? But I guess
I feel like it's all behind like I feel like I'm thinking about like OnlyFans or like websites online. It's not really like as much it's in movies and stuff too though.
But it's just not talked about in our culture when that's literally how everyone got here. Like your parents had to do something to make you be here, and their parents had to do something to make them be here.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about all that.
And I think it really leads back. This is my theory. I could be completely wrong. This is me just using an educated guess. But because people that came to America were fleeing for religious freedom from Europe, and we had a very Puritan, very extremely strict religious, society back in like the 1700s. I think those ideas still affect our culture today to where
I don't know, though.
we're very different than Europe, because in Europe they're like, oh, the body is beautiful, like we can celebrate the human body.
I see that.
They're all like, oh, the Renaissance, and they have like naked statues of like men and women up in Europe. But here we're like, oh, like
I'll be honest with you, I feel like we're far from Puritan nowadays though.
We are
We are far.
But still the intimacy stuff is taboo when it's like that's just kind of, it's like part of the circle of life, it's like part of the everybody mates. Every single animal does. I don't know why I'm talking about this right now.
But so is violence.
Yeah, violence is normal too. But I'm like, maybe Europe and the Americas, I guess North America, can learn from each other and be like, hey, maybe we recognize that both of these things exist.
That's actually a really good point. You saying that kind of stuck with me. I've been thinking about that.
So anyway, so back to your smut. Let's talk about smut though.
I like a little bit.
You like a little bit of smut.
A little bit.
Why a little bit?
I don't know. I think if it's done romantically, I like it.
Yeah. So
I'm an adult. I'm a married woman.
Yeah. So it just makes you think about your husband.
I guess, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So this is the smut level. It's like 1 through 10, and it's just like little jalapeno peppers.
Yeah. Like I'd probably like a 2.
That seems extremely low to me.
Matt, you would be shocked by what's in some books. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When I first signed up for therapy, telling some close members of my family, they immediately were like, what's wrong? And I feel like that just shows that, therapy nowadays is changing. BetterHelp is probably the easiest way to get therapy nowadays and also the fastest. It's fully online and it's making therapy affordable and convenient, and it serves over 5 million people worldwide. BetterHelp has access to a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties, from eating disorder to gender problems to marriage and relationship therapy to depression, anxiety, just wanting to help manage your time better, or you're single but looking for things to find in a relationship and to be a better partner for someone else. Like, so many different types of specialties. It's really easy to switch therapists at no extra cost to you. If you're not really vibing the most, you can just switch at any time, and they make it super simple and user-friendly for you. I really suggest BetterHelp if you're in a place where, like, I need therapy and I need it fast. I'm kind of overwhelmed at signing up. You're not going to find an easier way and quicker way to get therapy. So discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/unplannedpodcast to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/unplannedpodcast.
Okay, so Butcher and Blackbird, what's the smut level of that one?
That would probably be a 5 for me. I mean, there's a scene that is like 30 pages.
Oh my gosh. You did read me a paragraph from that book, and I
had to Google things. I was scarred. That for me wasn't romantic.
Oh yeah.
That was shocking.
See, some couples are into that stuff, man.
You know what? And then they'll probably love that book. That's what I truly believe. Like, me rating a book means nothing, because what I like in a certain time of my life, in a certain season, might be totally different.
Wait, this was the other thing I wanted to say. Last thing I wanted to say about intimacy across the world, because I just went on this trip with a bunch of different creators. It was a bunch of dads, and we just went surfing in Nicaragua. But some of these people on this trip went on missions in other countries. Yeah. And again, with how uptight America is about sex and people seeing each other's bodies, just like modesty, like these missionary, like these people, they're LDS, so they went on a mission for 2 years. They were telling me how when they were just serving a mission in Latin America, women would just like take their top off, be completely topless, and then have a baby pop on their boob. Yeah, and that was just like really normal there. Yeah, which is like really, it kind of makes you rethink, like, why is that? Why do we make that such a weird thing here? Why do we make that? Yeah.
See, I have to feel both ways about that, because like, as a woman who's nursed 2 babies, I feel like I would get so frustrated with the freaking covers and like,
it's wrong.
Things just getting like, the baby would get frustrated, it'd be hot, it'd be just like just a hassle.
And as a dude, I've never worn a shirt. Like, I literally walk around shirtless.
Probably because of the culture and just like personal reasons too. Like, I really don't want to be exposed.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I want you to walk around like that, but I'm just saying, like, the fact
I feel like it's actually illegal here.
No, it is.
Even if you're nursing,
I'm pretty sure it is.
No one's gonna actually press charges if you're nursing a baby.
But it's crazy though. Like, it's crazy that we, like, why are we
like, feeding your child should never be a crime. Yeah, we definitely got some problems up in this country.
I think people have just got a little too uptight,
Maybe, but also if people want to cover up and be modest. That's all right too.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Like,
I think I'm a pretty modest person.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, why hearing those stories made me think, why is our culture so vastly different? And it's okay for cultures to be different, right? Like, we don't have to, just because in Latin America they do things differently than we do in North America, does not mean that we need to change. But
it's good to have that perspective that, like, this is not the only way to do things.
Yes, I think it's really important to learn from other fields of thought.
Yes, I would agree.
So, cool. Well, I was today years old when I learned about smut.
Yeah, I would say I like a 2, maybe a 3.
Can you teach me a little bit more about book talk and the whole world of books?
So I can give you some lingo.
Okay, yeah, teach me.
So TBR, do you know what that is?
Absolutely no idea.
To be read.
To be
read. So like, I have like a pretty decent TBR right now, but I haven't had as much flexible time in my mind to read. Yeah. I get frustrated when people say, I don't have time to do that.
Okay.
That bothers me.
Oh, yeah. You don't
I'm like,
like
we all
that.
have the same amount of time in the day.
Yeah.
I choose to say, I didn't choose to spend my time that way.
That's good.
Now, I understand with like kids and work, these obligations feel like they're not flexible. But that's why I said I didn't feel like I had enough flexible time
Yeah.
to spend that way.
Yeah.
But we all have time to do things.
TBR, to be read. So are you, when you say TBR, that's like you have like a list of books that you're going to read?
Yeah, that I want to read.
Gotcha.
So some people, if they're being very specific, they have a physical TBR, and then they're like a digital TBR.
Okay.
So physical TBR would be like the books I have physically that I have yet to read that I want to read.
Interesting.
Mine are all digital, basically, because I read on a Kindle.
Yeah.
Do you know what a DTF is?
Down to
So no,
down to frick.
DNF.
Down to frick.
DNF. I'm so sorry.
Down to frick. I'm down to frick today.
That's
if
a
you
different
are.
acronym.
After this podcast,
That's a wrong acronym.
are you down to frick after this podcast?
No. DNF. The fact that you actually text me that 5.5 years into our marriage.
I did.
Frequently.
It's kind of hot.
No, frequently.
Doesn't like when you see DTF in your messages from your husband, aren't you
I'm
like
just shocked. I'm just shocked that that's my husband sending me that. DNF. What does DNF mean?
do it now? Sorry.
It means did not finish. Like,
Did
so
not
if you start a book and you did not finish it.
Oh, got it.
Because you did not like it mostly.
Do you think I'm funny?
I think you're hilarious.
Actually?
Yeah.
Have I gotten funnier?
I think you're funnier when you're not trying to be funny.
That's right.
Yes.
I think you're right about that. I found that I'm actually funnier when I make fun of myself because I'm actually
But
not.
I don't want you to be self-deprecating. I want you to be.
Well, I think self-deprecating humor is hilarious, though. I think it's one of the best forms of humor.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
It's
think
not my humor.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I feel like my humor is like what would make a 2-year-old.
I think marrying into your family has helped me understand
My family is sarcastic.
comedy more because your family's sarcastic. I literally all that went over my head as a child.
But sarcastic does not always equal comedy.
Because my mother she could not be further from sarcasm.
That's fine. She's
a sweet woman,
so
you know,
sweet.
and she's just in her own world, and she'll
she's not in her own
she'll
world.
probably never understand sarcasm ever, and that's
That's
okay,
fine.
and
She's
that's
so
okay.
nice.
But I feel like,
it's better that way.
but understanding sarcasm has helped me like see the world in color now, you know.
Well, because you used to think that when people were sarcastic with you, they were being mean to you.
I did. I really
Which,
did.
I mean, I will acknowledge sometimes there's overlap there.
There is. Yeah, you can be too sarcastic to a point of being mean.
Yeah. But a lot of times it's just like lighthearted.
Yeah.
So DNF means you did not finish it. That's something I don't do. I always see it through. It's part of my personality. I'm loyal.
Why do you do, like, you read some crappy books though.
I don't.
Or like if you're like when you scroll on social media, you will watch everything from start to finish, no
Yep.
matter what.
I'm going to see it through.
Why?
Because I'm going to see it through. I'm loyal. I also don't want to overstimulate myself.
You're hilarious.
I'm going to make it as like least stimulating as possible.
Oh my gosh.
But so here's another thing about me as a reader. I'm just here for the fun of it. I'm not going to try to like predict everything that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like look for plot holes. I'm not going to be critical. I just want to be in I'm just here for the experience.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to rate books based on that.
It's actually pretty impressive. You've read like 20 books since I started the Harry Potter series. I'm still on book number 4. I started Harry Potter back in
That's all right.
I think I started Harry Potter back in
I think your problem
July.
is trying to attack a series and like not
True.
switch it up a little bit.
Maybe I need to take a little break from it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through book number 4.
Yeah, that's great. But anyway, for book club, we read a thriller, and most of those girls really just are there for the romance, like the lighthearted, sweet books.
Yeah.
Low stakes, if you will. And I was finally like stoked because I was like, everyone's loving this. They all read the book like within the first week.
Yeah.
And then get to book club, time to pick another book. No one wants to read another thriller. I was like, dang it. I thought we were going to be a thriller book club. But that's fine.
Yeah. No, that's
We're
totally...
reading another romance. So we read Rock, Paper, Scissors, which actually, they all really liked it. But I was like, I just feel like you haven't read enough thrillers because it was a very mid thriller in my mind.
I love that you have such a tight community of gal pals now.
I do.
You seem so much happier.
I am so much happier because we're meant to not do life alone. And like motherhood specifically can be such an isolating time. And I have so many mom friends and it just makes everything so much brighter. Like it really, that's just the best way to describe it. Like And it's not because you're not enough and my kids aren't enough. It's really just because it enhances the experience so much more to do it with others.
I think that's a mistake that I've made in marriage, is expecting you to be everything. And I can be very content alone. Like, there's part of me that really enjoys creativity, and so I can like create art all by myself. But then if I'm alone too long, if I hyper focus on a creative task and then I'm alone too long, then I feel this desperate need to just connect with other human beings, and can't.
It's hard to just pick that up in a moment.
Yes.
Like friendships and relationships are something you have to invest in.
Exactly.
And something that like I'm so grateful for, and the people that we have in our circle now, or like me and the kids too, it's like people that are gonna show up when times are great and when times are tough. And even if it's not even that big of a deal, like if it's like, we had a kid sick this Saturday, was not in any kind of way like desperately ill or anything.
Yeah.
But I had so many people just checking in on like, how's he doing? How's this fever? How's this? How's XYZ? And then people dropping off snacks for us and Griffin's favorite snacks, offering to drop off meals, and giving like little popsicles and handwritten cards. Like, it was such a minor little bug that he had, yet there were so many people that just wanted to show up in any capacity, and that just meant so much. And I feel like as I was sitting in the bathtub that night, like thinking about it, I was like, the fact that so many people care about the little people that we love the most, they don't just care about us, the fact that they care about our children, that was like so meaningful and so sweet. And it goes both ways. I care so much about their kids. I would fight for their kids.
And we didn't have that in Hawaii.
No,
we didn't have that in Hawaii.
And it's not Hawaii's fault. That's the thing.
Not, yeah.
It's a difference in me. Like, yeah. I think friendships had always come easy for me. So easy. Because I had the same friends since I was literally a child. And so I just took them with me, and then I had a lot of those same friends too in college. I had you in college, and then all of a sudden I was plucked up and put on an island, and I was an adult that didn't have an establishment to make friends for me. And I know that there are so many other people that are in this exact same stage of life, and it's especially more challenging if you're pregnant or have little ones.
And it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing when you're an adult and you have no friends. It's extremely embarrassing. It shouldn't
be embarrassing, though.
No, but it is. I don't know why. It was embarrassing for me. Like, I feel like I'm finally at a mature enough spot, and I'm not trying to act like I've got everything figured out now, but I'm mature enough to be like, yeah, I haven't been good at making I'm actually very good at making friends. I'm very bad at keeping friends because I am out of sight, out of mind. If I'm not seeing you every day,
I think that's an ADHD thing.
I think it's an ADHD thing too. Like, it doesn't mean that I don't care about them, but if I'm not seeing you every single day, I kind of forget about you. And that's also why I forget to call home to my parents. Like, I feel bad, but I do. And it doesn't mean that I don't love my parents, but it's like, I need to see you every day in order to remember to like talk and check in on you and see how you're doing. So it's almost like I've learned, when it comes to making friends, you have to make a change in yourself first, which is so hard, especially when you're coming from a place like we did, where everything was handed to us in college. Like, we came to the school, nobody had friends already. Everyone was new to making friends.
Well, we also went together.
And we got plugged into a community that made it really easy to make friends in that community. We were in dorms where it was easy to make friends. Like, everything was just kind of handed to us. And it was almost like the school knew that if they make making friends fun and easy and quick,
people won't drop out.
And it makes the school money, which is actually really smart that colleges do that. So,
well, I think it's also just for the general well-being of their students.
Of course.
But
then we leave and we're like, we are lonelier than we've ever been in our entire lives.
I think being several years removed from that, I've just like, my perspective is so different. Like, I was kind of pitying myself in a way, like I probably wasn't consciously doing it, but subconsciously pitying myself. And then I just recognized that, like, now there were probably so many other people around me that were feeling the same way, but it takes a certain level of humility to be the first person to be like, hey, you want to come over to my house for dinner tonight? I feel like that's the easiest thing to do now since we have kids. And obviously also finding people with kids is easier to make our schedules align. But like to be the first person to just like, hey, you want to do this? Like it can feel a little weird, but I can do that with confidence now, knowing that most people are feeling the same way. Thank you to Nutrafol for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. If you guys are watching like a visual platform for this, you're going to see that my hair is getting long. Some of you may know that my goal is to grow my hair to my butt. And I can't do this on my own. I've been on the Nutrafol game for over 2 years now. I'm loving it, and I'm not surprised because Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. A one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Physician formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients, Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow through different stages, such as postpartum and even menopause. Building a hair growth routine is simple with Nutrafol. You just purchase it online. There's no prescription required, which is really, really helpful. And they have automated deliveries and free shipping to help you stay on track. You'll also have access to free naturopathic doctor consults, and a Headspace meditation membership is also included. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with Nutrafol. It just makes sense, honestly. I love my hair, and it feels really, really, really healthy, and it hasn't always been this way. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code UNPLANNED. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code UNPLANNED. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code UNPLANNED.
I feel like this podcast quickly turned into making friends as an adult.
Well, Matt, I get DMs like that all the time.
Navigating loneliness as an adult. And I feel like we should really like dive into this because it is an epidemic in our society. I really think it is. Like I find myself going to listen to other people's podcasts to feel like I'm their friend, which I love podcasts. I feel like listening to podcasts is a much healthier form of social media than TikTok or Instagram Reels. But still, though, it's not a substitute for real life friends. Not even close. And so I love that we're talking about this because for myself included, like we need to be making ourselves aware of, hey, reaching out to people to hang out should be a weekly thing that we do. Right? Because you cannot expect other people to always invite you. You cannot expect other people to always be the one to coordinate. But if you want to have friends and if you want to have a good community, you have to make some sort of change in yourself, which sucks. Like it's hard.
Something that's beautiful though about the friends that I have now is that, yeah, we're not 21 and single and like every hangout we do can just be like, you know, what do I say? Like a mountaintop experience. Like it can't just be like we're going out or getting drinks. Like it can't, it's late nights. But like, it's just showing up for people. Yeah. And that is also very fun. And it just feels so much richer, that type of community. I'm not saying you can't have that when you're 21 and single. You can have that same thing. But I noticed it so much more in this season of life. Like we're going to a friend's house to help paint her nursery for her.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing that.
People, and people like put our coffee table together.
Whose house?
Caitlin.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. And like, it's just like showing up, like making meals, like people did for us, like dropping off medicine and handwritten cards.
And you're so good at that, by the way.
No.
You are. You make meals for other people. You actually, making meals is like your love language, and you're good at it, and you make amazing food. And so you've always been good about doing that. Even in Hawaii, you would do that for like friends of ours at the gym. Now we didn't have the deep community that we have. That like you have deep community. I'm still working on forming my deep community. I have more friends now than I have had in the past 4 years. Like it's stuff is looking up for me. I literally, this is embarrassing. I'll expose myself. I literally have a note in my phone that says friends, and I write down the names. I write down their names though, because like I love meeting new people. I kind of get this high off of meeting new people and learning from them. And it just scratches this creative itch. Probably why I like podcasting so much. But because I need to remind myself to follow up, schedule hangouts, all those things, because I can't expect other people to do that for me. I've been writing down the names of the people that I want to be intentional with about like calling, FaceTiming, texting, seeing if they want to hang out in person, stuff like that. Because, I don't want to fall into the slump I did before where I don't have friends, and it's depressing, and I can't expect you to fill that void for me.
Well, and I even had a friend reach out because they knew that it was anniversary of a tough time for me.
Yeah.
And just to feel known in that capacity is so meaningful.
Yeah.
Just a text. It's really, I'm so grateful.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Who texted you?
Sarah Kay.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, because she also had a loss at that same time. So we kind of can talk about that together.
And she just knew. She just knew the date, and she reached out because it was the date.
Yeah.
Wow.
That type of stuff is so meaningful. But what was I saying?
See, I wish I was. I suck at dates. I suck
at dates too. So don't beat yourself up if you're a bad date person. I even forget people that I love deeply's birthdays, and I'm like, I gotta stop doing that.
I'm horrible with birthdays.
It makes me ill. But the flip side of it is I'm not offended. I'm not making a spreadsheet of who tells me happy birthday on my birthday.
Yeah.
If people don't tell me happy birthday, I'm like, no big deal. It ain't no thing, But just talking about community in general, it is the single. You know what's crazy? People I've talked to, they're like, even people that are like, okay, we might not be staying in Arizona. As soon as they get plugged into a community,
yeah,
they're like, I can't imagine leaving.
Yeah,
because home is not about the place; it's about the people that surround you.
Yeah, and
that's what makes a place feel like a home. And so, and I also feel like your family, you can choose your family too. If you weren't born into a huge family, you can still make your life so full with the people that you choose to, invite into your circle. And that's something that takes time. It takes work. It takes sacrifice, and it takes communication. And also people will come in and out of your life, and that's totally fine too. There doesn't have to be any hard feelings about that.
I've found, and I'm giving advice here, but you're the one who's way better at making friends than me. So let me just make that clear. You're kind of the expert here. But at least for me, I've found that hanging with people that are in a similar stage of life to you is the move. Because I can schedule a hangout with some other dads on a Saturday at 3:00, and we'll go to the park.
It's cute. I love
because all of our kids can play with you, play together, and go on the swing and the slide and all that, and us dads can just socialize and chat. So I like that. Or just taking the kids to the park and talking to other adults at the park. And it's not I have to be super close friends with those people, but it's fun just to be out of the house and have a conversation with another adult human that doesn't poop their pants,
Yeah.
So that's been, I've found that to be super helpful.
Yeah. And people often DM me, they're like, how do you do this? And I feel like I explain say you want to come over for dinner, or you want to take the kids to this place together, or there's this event going on at this time. Just find reasons to do things together with other people, but also find yourself in places where you're going to find people that are in the same season of life as you, whether that's the gym, the park, the library. Your neighbors, honestly. Let's not forget about neighbors.
Yeah, I actually want to be better about reaching out to our neighbors, because we had some neighbors that baked us bread, baked us cookies, gave us gifts, and I never did anything for them back, which I feel bad about. Now that I'm saying that out loud.
Well, it was nice because we moved in. And
we
so
did. We did move in. But we have some really great neighbors. Our next door neighbors wrote us a letter about how they wanted to form a relationship to be close friends for a long time, and they just seem really genuine, nice people.
Yeah, we're just we have so many good people in our life now.
Yeah, I'm so thankful for that. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, me too. And that's why I'm so excited for this 2-year-old Valentine's Day party. And that's also why I want to start a preschool.
But how cool is it that when our kid gets something as simple as a fever, that all your mom's friends reach out about oh, I'm making you this food, and I'm dropping off, these lollipops that kids can suck on to help with, they have zinc in them, and they help them to fight off sickness. It's just so thoughtful that all those people did that.
So thoughtful.
So. And
there's so many people that was hey, don't worry about it. We got it. Everything's better. Even being able to contact people and be oh, he's experiencing these symptoms. Should I take him in? That are doctors. That's so cool.
But I think something that I'm going to try to commit to being better about this year is not having surface level relationships. Mm-hmm. Because I feel I'm really good at having having a lot of surface level relationships, and it's better, I think, to just have 3 people that you talk to every day and that you're super tight with, than to have 30 people that you have like kind of, you know, casual.
Yeah.
You chat every once in a while. Like that isn't deep. And you can't, when you're going through a really hard time, you can't really open up to people like that because they're going to be like, whoa, what the, we're just kind of casual friends, dude. And now you're like, you're trauma dumping on me right now, you know?
Yeah.
So
are you down to start a preschool? No.
Well, how
such a big community.
We're starting. So apparently now we're starting a preschool. Apparently that's happening.
I've kind of always wanted to homeschool. I've said that. I've always wanted to homeschool our kids. But we're getting close to that preschool age. And like I said, we have such a big community now. And I'm realizing it's a really big need. And our child would learn better amongst peers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I just get a curriculum and just do this thing?
I think you would actually be really good at that.
8 3-year-olds.
I think you'd do a great job. How long would that take though out of the day?
2 hours twice a week.
Oh, yeah, you could knock that out. You could do that.
I mean, they're little.
Would that be after what time of day would
10
you?
10 to noon.
10 to noon. Yeah, go for it.
That's what I want to do.
Are you going to get these kids AI?
We have a name for it.
Are you going to teach them ChatGPT?
Not they're 3. Let's start working on the numbers and the letters and the colors and the shapes. No, I feel like it's going to be called One Smart Cookie. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here. How fun would that be?
Okay, One Smart Cookie. Tell me more.
And I would buy a curriculum because I'm not a curriculum developer. But I did get my degree in elementary education, and my mom was an elementary teacher for 27 years. And I'm sure she would love to be a part of this as well. And heck, we could even invite my grandma, have Gigi in there. She was also a teacher for several years and owned an educational supplies store.
Gigi would be great.
So I feel like
she would hook you
team.
up with all the supplies.
One Smart Cookie has a good team.
And your mom has all those books left over from when she was a teacher.
We have so many books. I love reading picture books.
You're really good at it,
I go hoarse reading picture books sometimes. I give it my all. But sometimes all I have is just reading it, just plain. But, you know. So I think it could be really fun. And 2 hours twice a week, like I feel like that would just be a really good chunk of time to just be intentional.
Yeah.
And just do it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are looking for this.
So question for you. How was it single parenting with me gone Monday through Friday in Nicaragua?
I was tired, but it was a lot of fun. Honestly, built me some confidence.
Yeah, I bet.
I was like, man, if Matt were to get in a freak accident, I could hold down the fort.
That's amazing. So you just felt like a super powered, like you felt like a super mom.
Yeah, I feel like it kicked into like some type of mode. Like I had to meet all their needs.
Yeah.
And so I like didn't think, I just did.
Was it hard to like cook and clean and
it's pretty much a mess, and I didn't really cook any fancy meals.
You just kept it kind of simple.
Kept it simple.
Do you do any trips to Chick-fil-A and let them play at the play place? I feel like that's our go-to. Whenever we're like really tired, Chick-fil-A play place is the move.
I didn't do that this time. No.
Why are those not more of a thing? Like I feel like not every McDonald's has a play place.
They are germ fests.
Okay, that's true.
They are.
Maybe that's why our kids keep getting sick so much.
I know. That's why I didn't take them.
We should stop taking them to the Chick-fil-A play place.
I mean, I don't take them that much. Like we did like once or twice a month. Like it wasn't like a ton of times.
Also, I think our kids just like, dude, I've caught our youngest like licking the floor before. You know, you just have to be careful. Like they see like an M&M on the floor and like, oh, this looks delicious.
Yeah,
you know?
and I'm like, why couldn't you even just use your hand to pick it up?
I know. It's like we're just gonna lick the floor right now. And it's okay. They're learning. You know,
I try to correct it every time I see it.
Honestly, kids are so funny. Like
they're so impulsive.
They crack me up. Just look like watching little kids. Doesn't even have to be our own kids. Like they're just so freaking funny.
I love them.
You know, and you're so good at being a mom. Like I had no doubt that while I was gone in Nicaragua, you know, quarter of the way across the planet, that you were gonna be just fine, and you were.
It was fun.
Did anything crazy happen though while I was gone? Like, did any like Mayday? Like
several
issues?
Maydays.
Wait, really? Several Maydays?
Several Maydays.
What? Enlighten me. What happened while I was gone?
No, just screaming for.
Oh no! Like
unknown reasons.
The kids being up in the night, like not wanting to go to sleep.
That happened a couple times.
Shoot, was it our oldest or youngest?
It's always our oldest.
Why is it our oldest?
I don't know.
Is he getting nightmares? Is that why?
Yeah, he's getting some nightmares, some night terrors. But then also like, I don't know. Sometimes he just like, He just says to me, "I need you, Mom.
Oh.
I need you, Mom."
And that like when he says that, you can't even tell him no.
There's literally no way I'm gonna tell him no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him out. And he says, "One more cuddle, Mom.
One more cuddle.
One more cuddle, Mom." In his little deep voice. One more cuddle. And I cuddle him. He's like my whole body length.
Gosh.
Especially in that sleep sack. I'm like, oh my gosh, buddy.
He's a big kid now.
He's big. So, yeah. But no, it was great. Like, honestly, being their mom is, like, it is the greatest honor of my life. It's so fun. And, like, there's just something about parenting them that I'm like, I'm never going to run out of energy for you. Like, I'm going to be so tired, but I'll still peel myself out of bed and go, pull you out of your bed and hold you. And, like, and then I'll still wake up the next morning and do it all day again. Like, it's just, there's something that happens, and you don't even feel as tired as you would have thought before you had kids. Like, there's levels of exhaustion that we've reached that I just didn't think were possible.
Did hanging out with your mom friends and, you know,
Totally.
being with other people help make it more manageable?
Totally, because being around them, it just gave me another boost of energy and, like, inspiration.
Yeah.
You know? So many of them are always like, I'll take, like, just drop them off at my house. They offer that all the time.
I thought it was funny that when I came home, you weren't able to pick me up from the airport because you were having book club.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I thought
that was hilarious.
Book club always goes late, you know. We get rowdy.
But my favorite thing though is when I came home, it gave me flashbacks to when we were dating.
I was nervous to see you because we hadn't seen each other for 5 days, and I don't know when's the last time we've ever done that.
That was a long time.
It's been years.
I got all giddy because I forget, like, Abby, you're a little lady.
What do you mean?
You're so cute. Like, holding you, I was like, this girl is so fragile.
Aww.
Like, you're so tiny, and it just kind of I felt like I was back in high school again, you know, seeing you after not seeing you for 2 weeks, because that's what used to happen. I would go a long time without seeing you, and then when I'd reunite with you, it was just like all this dopamine, all this serotonin, just like this rush of feel-good chemicals, because I was so happy to be back with you.
Yeah, I was so glad to have you back, but then I felt really bad that I didn't pick you up.
That must be fun. Like, if your spouse travels for work, I guess that's not the most fun that you don't see them that often, but reuniting, like, that was awesome. It's always
exciting then.
It was so exciting.
You're like, I haven't seen you in 5 days rather than, like, I haven't seen you in 5 minutes.
And I was just, like, kiss attacking you on the couch with your friends all around us, and they're like, all right, well, we're going to head out.
Yeah, that was sweet, but, yeah.
I really felt like a teenager again.
Me too.
Yeah. I like that feeling. Now I'm like, maybe I need to take more trips so I can feel that feeling more. It felt so good.
Well, the one problem is that Griffin, when you got home, he said, no, like, dada.
I was like, bro, I was gone for 4.5 days, dude. Chill. We even FaceTimed. I'm like, I FaceTimed you while I was gone.
Every day. And he said, no,
like dada.
No, like, dada. And I was like, that is so mean.
He's in a deep mommy phase, though, right now.
Yes.
Like, deep mommy phase.
Yes.
And even when he's sad and I help him in the night or in the morning, which I know you've been doing the most of that recently, but he always asks for you. Like, he really likes you. And, like, in the mornings, like, I woke up with him. He asks for
you sometimes, too.
Okay, that makes me feel better. But when I woke up with him yesterday, we were having such a good time. And then I think I mentioned your name, and then he was like, want mama. Like, he forgot. He kind of forgot. Like, we were just having a good, like, dad and lad moment. And then once he remembered that you weren't around, then he was like, oh, want mama.
Oh.
Want mama.
That was so sweet. He's been saying, like, in a big boy sentence, I want mom. He says, I want my mom. I want my mom.
How did it make you feel when I texted you, though, while I was in Nicaragua, can we move to Maui?
I'm not surprised. I've been your wife for 5.5 years, and I just know how you are. No one in our family was surprised either.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Did you tell the whole family that I told you that?
No, I told some of my friends, though.
Hear me out. The people that I was on the surf trip with were all so
no,
awesome.
Matt, I get it.
They're so
Remember
genuine.
How we just had this whole long conversation about community?
Yeah. And look, I guess part of me, half the guys on the surf trip all live on Maui. They have an existing community on Maui. They surf together every day at sunrise. And so we surf together on this trip every day at sunrise. And I was like, dude, if I could surf every day at sunrise with my friends, that to me is my dream life.
Dude, I feel like you're more of a sunset surfer.
That's true. I don't like waking up early. But so, yeah, I would surf, I would do sunset surf sessions in Hawaii. But, you know, it's just like, there's something about surfing where you combine, which I feel like surfers are going to hate that I'm talking about this, because surfers hate when new people take over the surf spots. Like surfers like having the spots themselves. Like if there's more than like 3 surfers at a surf break, it can quickly get overcrowded. So sorry if you're a surfer. I'm not going to shout out any surf spots though. I'm going to keep that private. But there's just something about being social with your friends out in nature, especially when the sun's rising or setting. It is beautiful in the ocean, stunning. And then you're doing an activity, like you're doing a sport. So you're like your lungs are pumping, like you're getting that cardiovascular exercise like I was talking about earlier. It's just so healthy, and I just was on this high the entire week. And like, you know, there was a few guys that while we were there, I think maybe had a couple beers here and there while we were hanging out, but like I literally didn't drink anything. I was just eating healthy and just surfing every day with these guys, and it was an unreal experience. It was unreal. So I do want that, but it's a little tricky because in Arizona we don't have a beach. So I don't, yeah.
We'll have to visit. You really want to move?
I don't know. It's so tough because we are like finally getting community here, and I'm like, oh.
We just bought a house.
I know. Maybe we'll have to like visit, but not like for a week, like visit for like an extended period of time, That would be awesome.
Fair.
Because I really enjoy the sport, and it's really fun too. Like I've made all these connections with other people that like to surf, so it's fun that I have friends now that like to surf that I can go and do that sport with. So
that's awesome. I'm so glad you had such a good time.
I mean, it really was. I got like coming back from Nicaragua, I kind of got post vacation blues a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was such a high. It was such this like
me over here. I was like, he's sitting on a plane by himself for hours. That sounds incredible. I just want to sit on the plane and have nobody touch me or talk to me.
And all the dads on this trip were so good. Like Garrett, from the Bucket List family who organized this trip, the thing he said on the first night was, my goal on this trip is that all of us husbands return to our wives and they go, wow, what happened on the surf trip to make them such incredible, loving, caring husbands.
You have been a really good husband post surf trip.
Thank you.
So it worked.
Maybe this means I can do more surf trips?
I'm down.
Let's go. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I should need like a quarterly surf trip.
There you go.
A quarterly surf trip to like, somewhere tropical.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Thank you. What's weird though is I have all these. I think I got bit up.
Yeah, you got attacked.
Dude, I got attacked. If you guys see my arm, if you look at my arm, it's kind of gnarly. I don't know what that is on my arm. But I did get attacked. I'm not gonna take my shirt off right now, but like I have bugs. I got all these bug bites on my chest. So I'm like, am I gonna be okay? Like I look like I have freckles all over my chest because I got bit up by mosquitoes. Apparently, some people do get malaria in Nicaragua. I don't think that's a very common thing, but it is sweet though. Nicaragua is a developing country, and so because they love tourists coming to spend money and pour money into the economy, they're a huge fan of people traveling there. When, in somewhere like Hawaii, they've had tourism as part of their economy for a very long time, and some people aren't the biggest fan of people traveling to Hawaii. But in somewhere like Nicaragua, they're like, no, come, we want you to travel, we want you to visit. And everyone was so, like, all the locals were so nice. Every person that we ran into, whether it was on the beach or our taxi driver, Mario, Ali, like they were all so kind. And it also helped me brush up on my Spanish. My Spanish still sucks.
I wish I could have been there listening to you.
Yeah, my Spanish does suck. One time I had to tell someone, I was like, español un poquito, yo habla español un poquito.
Wouldn't it be hablo?
Hablo. Yeah, see, you should have been there with me. You would have helped me out.
I don't really know anything.
I just kept saying, muchas gracias. I would say that all the time.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. That was like my go-to. And they'd say, de nada.
That's hilarious. I could totally picture you doing that.
But it does kind of make me want to learn Spanish, though. Going there, I kind of realized, you're surrounded by all these people that's their main language, and it would kind of open up a whole new world of people you can meet and talk to if you learned their language.
You do Rosetta Stone.
That's the key. You're like sinking into the couch right now.
I know. I'm getting really sleepy.
Are you okay?
I'm getting really sleepy.
Well, thank you so much.
You should have moved me from like chair this couch.
I know.
Just
I
getting
like
comfy.
that my hand's on your leg. I think you're a really pretty woman.
Oh, wow.
Well, thank you for tuning in. I mean, is there anything else I'm going to say?
Am I starting this preschool or what?
Um,
Open enrollment today for One Smart Cookie.
well, I thought you said it's only for our friends' kids.
It's only for our friends'
So
kids.
it's not really like we're not opening it up to the public.
So, yep.
We're starting a private preschool just for our friends.
Oh, yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But
It's not really
I am
even
going to make t-shirts.
It's really not even a
What
preschool.
if they have little
Oh my
polos with a patch of like a little cookie with a little pencil in his hand, like ready to do school? It's One Smart Cookie. That's so cute. It's happening. Okay.
That's so funny.
Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Yes, thank you. And if you have checked out my new podcast, thank you so much. It's on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, that would mean a lot because it is a new show. And drop a comment who you would like me to interview on the show. I want to interview
Put me on.
some cool people. You want to be?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, all right.
I know I will if you want me to. If you have an open slot.
I'll consider it.
Okay.
I'll consider it. Yeah.
I'll go to the closet. Is that where you're bringing guests into our closet?
I haven't gotten that far. So far, every episode has been filmed in the closet.
Have your dad. He's coming in town next week.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I can interview my dad on the show.
You could talk about his life.
Yeah.
I mean, he
idea.
would love to do it.
My dad is hilarious. He is
Yeah.
funny. He's the ultimate
I feel
dad
like he
joke
would get
king.
emotional.
Yeah, he might cry. Anyway, love you guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Peace.